back, we will have gubernatorial candidate for the great state of Arkansas, Doc Washburn, on. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back right after this. Yeah, $150 million. I guess so. Doc Washburn, are you with us, and can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Not only can I hear you, I can see you. Hope you guys can see me.
Nope. I'm gonna bring you on here so that we are doing the the side by side gig, but you are still live to our social media audience. So if you'd like say hello, introduce yourself, I will put you on the screen now so they can see you, and you can tell them hello. This is Doc Washburn, everybody.
Hey, y'all. My name is Doc Washburn. I used to do radio talk show in Little Rock, Arkansas. A little thing called News Radio 1029 KARN. I was fired for refusing the vaccine mandate from Cumulus Media, like a lot of other people were for Cumulus. I've been running for governor of Arkansas since February 8th. There are only two candidates for the Republican nomination. One's a liberal, the other is conservative. One is sold out to Walmart, Tyson, and Chamber of Commerce, and the other is me.
I like nice pitch there. That's the truth, though.
Unlike my opponent, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I'm running all over the state trying to talk to as many people as possible, the people that she is avoiding.
Well,
2.5 weeks.
I was just going to say, let's save that for the full interview because I was down in Arkansas. You and I met in Arkansas, and I found out a lot that I did not know about her. And I'm not trying to bash her in any way or anything like that. I know Trump loves her and all this, that, and the other. I get it. Yeah. But I did find out a lot I did not know, and I think that's important. That's why we have to travel. That's why we have to meet people. That's why you got to go knock on doors like you're doing. So just give me a minute here, and we'll come back from this commercial, and then we'll reintroduce you to the Real America's Voice audience, and we'll get it going.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Here we go. And welcome back here on Real America's Voice News. This is Live from America. I am Jeremy Herrell, the host of the show, coming to you from the Live Free or Die Granite State of New Hampshire. And most of you know that I travel alongside Ben Berkwam, Heather Mullins, Amanda Head, and the entire RAV production team as we go around on the tour bus trying to drum up some hope in all corners of the country. But, while that was very much needed in 2021, in 2022, we're an entirely different country. We don't really have to spark hope and energy and fight anymore. It's everywhere. And during our last little leg in Arkansas, I was honored and it was very humbling to meet gubernatorial candidate for Arkansas, Doc Washburn, and he joins us tonight. Mr. Washburn, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. We have been running all over the state of Arkansas. We're meeting with people everywhere. They'll stand still long enough to listen to me talk, to ask me questions. There are only two candidates in the Arkansas Republican primary. There's me, the conservative, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the liberal. And people are like, whoa, wait a minute, liberal? She worked for President Trump. Right. She also endorses people who stabbed Trump in the back. She endorsed Senator John Bozeman here in Arkansas, who said the idea the election was stolen is ridiculous.
Yeah, I showed that on the show. I showed that leaked video on the show. Yep. And
that Trump is at least partially responsible for the violence of January 6th. She endorsed Congressman French Hill, who also said the idea that election was stolen from Donald Trump is a fiction and a fallacy. Voted to keep Liz Cheney in House Republican leadership because she's such an outstanding conservative after she voted to impeach Trump. Said Donald Trump's rhetoric leading up January 6th is unforgivable, and voted for Nancy Pelosi's January 6th commission. These are the people that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is endorsing. Governor of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson, endorsed her, and she said what a great job he's been doing. Now, again, this is the only Republican governor in the state in the United States who has ever vetoed a bill to outlaw chemical castration of children, puberty blockers. He's been doing a great job. There's an old Spanish proverb, Jeremy, show me who you walk with.
Amen.
And I'll show you who you are. She walks with French Hill, John Bozeman, Asa Hutchinson, and Mike Pence, who stabbed us all in the back.
Well, the thing about this show and the thing about what this new Republican Party has been able to do is literally find out who the rhinos are and find the rats. And a lot of the times, it was somebody that you looked up to. It was somebody that you fought with. It was somebody that you said, hey, this person is they think like I think. And then you find out, whoa, wait a minute. And I found out a lot of that when I was down there, and not by you running against her, because that's what I would expect her opponent to say. I found this out from hundreds of people that live in Arkansas that came up to me and told me all about this. And I said, what do you mean? I didn't know anything about this. And they're like, they told me that and so much more. But you know what? Before we continue to talk about all this, I want to ask you, and I ask everybody this. This is my vetting question about anybody who's running for any position in this new Republican Party. And this is how I find out whether you are worth the fight or whether you're not. Do you believe that Joe Biden legitimately won the 2020 election against President Donald J. Trump?
Absolutely not. We all watched it being stolen. And it is remarkable to me how in the bubble people can be Republicans in Washington and say, oh, no, he won fair and square. Oh, no, it wasn't stolen. Now, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette is the biggest newspaper in the state, and they interviewed me and they interviewed Sarah. And they quoted me accurately. I said, it's obvious the election was stolen. There's no question about it. They asked Sarah what she thought, and her subtly nuanced response was, well, I guess we'll probably never know how much fraud there was in the election. She's not going to answer the question. Why? Well, one reason is she has a lot of liberal donors. Walmart, Tyson, the Chamber of Commerce don't want her saying the election was stolen. That's number one. Number two, there's a guy named Chip Saltzman. He is the chairman of her gubernatorial campaign. He is a moderate Republican political consultant out of Nashville, Tennessee. He was in the newspapers in Tennessee back in March of 2021 saying, well, I hate to admit it, but Donald Trump lost fair and square. She won't repudiate that. She won't repudiate Asa Hutchinson for vetoing a bill to outlaw castrating children because the Walton Family Foundation, Walmart, says how proud they are to stand with Governor Hutchinson, standing with our transgender 8-year-olds. It's ridiculous.
Now, I want to stop you real quick, Doc, and I apologize, but I got to get this out. There's going to be a lot of people who watch this on my show, and there's going to be a lot of people who watch this on Real America's Voice News, and they're going to be upset with what you're saying. And I want to say, people, listen, good news comes in the form of bad news all the time because at least we're privy to the information. Now, I spent some time with Doc down in Arkansas. This man did not want to run for governor. He did not want to leave his job. He didn't want to leave his life. He did not want to run for governor. As a matter of fact, he had to be basically pressured by his loved ones to say, you have to, based on a lot of the stuff that he's saying right now. Now, you may like the person that he's running against, and that's fine. We're not telling you who to vote for. What we're doing is telling you a lot of the things that you don't know that we have found out through interviews, through talking with people face to face, through talking with her. So, again, I'm not here to bash her. I'm here to tell you that we need to make sure that any possibility of a rhino in our party there has to be massive vetting, not just because, somebody endorsed me, so they endorse this person, they must be good. So, Doc, real quick, why were you basically forced to do this? What happened to push you into this? Just so people know.
I was doing talk radio, got fired for refusing the vaccine mandates. Some friends of mine got together with me and financially invested in doing a national podcast at DocWashburnShow.com. Got advertisers pretty quickly, was making money. Everything was fine. Then, early February, Sarah Huckabee Sanders goes on her Facebook page and endorses John Bozeman, endorses French Hill for re-election. Got hundreds of negative responses. People were furious with her, saying, we can't support you anymore, even though she didn't have any other competitor for the Republican nomination for governor. That's when my phone started ringing. Man, you need to step up and run for governor. I said, no, sorry, I'm not the guy. I'm not cut out for that. I'm the guy that interviews these people. Then, February 6th, Jan Morgan, who is primarying Senator Bozeman, Republican primary for senator, when I told her no, she said, look, you don't understand what's going on. We're about to lose our country. Good people like you need to stand up and run for office. You need to talk to your wife and pray about it. Well, you tell a Christian to talk to his wife and pray about something he doesn't want to do. I mean, what am I going to do? Say no? Okay, Jan, all right, I'll talk to my wife. We'll pray about it. And so we did. She said, honey, this is way over my head. I trust your judgment. I knew the Proverbs say that there is wisdom, the abundance of counselors. So the next evening, I met with 10 or 11 people in a conference room in a church in North Little Rock, Arkansas, to ask them, what do you think I should do? And I remember, and we talked for 2.5 hours. I remember the two main questions. One was, a lot of people don't know what happened to you. You're off the radio. Would this just be a publicity stunt to let people know about the podcast, or would you actually be entertaining the idea of trying to win the governorship? I said, no, if you get in it, it's to win it. I mean, that's publicity stunts, ridiculous. The other question is, what would your top priority be running for governor? I said, to glorify God, because we're supposed to glorify God in everything.
Amen.
And so at the end of the meeting, everybody was unanimous. We hope you do this. I announced the next evening, Saline County Republican Women's Club, what it means that she says such nice things about these horrible rhinos who can't stop criticizing the guy who put her on the map, Donald Trump, and what it means is so many people were complained on her Facebook page. Why won't you answer any questions, Sarah? Why won't you talk about issues? I said it costs $15,000 to file to run for governor as a Republican in Arkansas. I don't have the money. If the Lord provides the money, I'm going to file. The Lord did provide the money. I got to tell you one more thing that happened 19 days ago. Arkansas State Supreme Court ruled with only one dissent. If a school district in Arkansas wants to force mask your children from 3 years old to 12th grade, you as a parent have nothing to say about it. They can do whatever they want. I immediately condemned that. I immediately said, my first day in office, I'll sign an executive order outlawing school districts force masking anybody, and I'll sign legislation from the legislature almost immediately. And 19 days later, Sarah hasn't said a word. She doesn't care. Walmart and Tyson Chamber of Commerce likes it. She likes it. She knows which side of the bread her butter's on.
Folks, and what Doc's saying here is 100% true. I can guarantee you what he's saying is 100% true. You need to follow the money. You need to find out who her donors are. You need to find out who's financing some of these campaigns that we are just led to believe are looking out for us. And I'm not saying that I dislike Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I'm saying I'm in it for the new Republican Party. I'm done with the old Republican Party. And that's just where I stand, period. Now, you can vote somebody in there who will vote lock and step with Republican traditions and values, but we're not talking about Republican traditions anymore. We're talking literally about fighting this evil back, which is this communist Marxist party. Doc, before we wrap up, I just want to read some of your goals that you want to do, that you pledge to do if you become governor.
Yes, sir.
You want to replace mandates with freedom, no more forced masks, no more forced vaccinations. You want to begin immediately to eliminate personal state income and state capital gains taxes. You want to make Arkansas the safest place in America for children born and unborn. You want to
And by the way, with the taxes, that's not gradually. Sarah says, well, we'll gradually get rid of the personal income tax, 0.2% a year. No, I mean all of it now.
And,
right, go ahead.
And you want to sign a bill to require public schools to put all curricula online to be made accessible by parents. I mean, all of this stuff goes right down the line with what the new Republican Party, the firebrands, want. My last question to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that Arkansas is in any risk of the Democrats trying to cheat and steal it? And if so, when you become governor, are you going to make it, are you going to try to get rid of voting machines? Are you going to try to get rid of these ERIC systems and go to paper ballots, one voting day, one person, one ballot, all of that? That's what people want to know.
Right. There was a state representative named Jim Sorvillo who represented a very Republican area, West Pulaski County. Now, the rest of Pulaski County, which is Little Rock, is mostly Democrat. And they stole it from him. They stole his seat from him. You can't tell me a Democrat beat a Republican in that part of Arkansas on a year that Donald Trump was on the ballot. So we had electoral fraud here, too. Do I want to get rid of the voting machines? Yes, but I also have to realize that in 1960, Mayor Daley in Chicago helped John Kennedy steal the election for Richard Nixon, and that was paper ballots. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. Get rid of the voting machines because they are connected to the internet, right? But we have to put safeguards in effect so some sheriff in some rural county somewhere won't have a whole bunch of boxes of paper ballots in his trunk. You know, it's not just as easy as getting rid of the voting machines. We need to do that, but we also need to have stronger safeguards. I'm going to go see the movie 2,000 Mules tomorrow night.
Amen.
Dinesh D'Souza. I mean, if you have anybody that's on the fence about was the election stolen, make sure they go see that movie.
Amen. Well, and people can go to elect Doc Washburn to help and donate if they do their research and find out you're the candidate they want to vote for, correct?
Yes, sir. She's raised something like $14 million. All I need is 1% of that. If I get $140,000, I can get my message out to enough people, and I could be the nominee, and the nominee is going to be the governor. Because, Jeremy, everywhere I go, after I speak, people say, we're supporting Sarah. We're sending her money. We're just not hearing about you. We're going to vote for you now.
I actually saw people say that to you. I literally saw people say that to you.
Yeah.
It's people that love Sarah and did their research. So all we're asking you to do, folks, on RAV and everywhere else, in any state, do your research. If you find out that person's who you want to vote for them. But do your research. Find the money. Follow the money. Doc, God bless you, sir. It was great to have you here. We'll have you back again. Keep us updated on what's going on. And good luck to you, sir, and thank you for coming on and answering the questions.
God bless you, brother. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, too. See you later, sir.
All right, thank you.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any ill will towards Miss Sarah Huckabee Sanders. All I know is that in my travels, part of my job is to make sure that I am finding out who the good people are and who the bad people are. Now, I'm not saying that she's necessarily a bad person. All I'm saying is she takes money from a lot of bad people. People you and I do not like. We have to figure it out. We have to follow the money. We have to make sure who we're electing will work for us. We'll be right back right after this. I got to tell you, folks, it's been a long time coming since I wanted to have this guy on, because I found this stuff out when I was in Arkansas. And I talked to people at the airport. I talked to people at the hotel. I talked to people at the rally. I talked to people on the way back. I talked to Uber drivers. And I got to tell you, a lot of the people know this in Arkansas. Outside of Arkansas, a lot of people don't know this. And I'm not saying who you should and shouldn't vote for. That's not my job. My job is to do what I just did. And I found out a lot of stuff that I did not know. And that stuff turned out to be true. So I just want you guys to do the same thing. Okay? If Sarah's who you vote for, then she's who you vote for. You know what I mean? If I'd like Candace Taylor to win in Georgia, but you guys might want David Perdue. All you should know is this. Okay? What you need to know is this. Do your own research. If this is part of that research, my show, then that's great. If it leads you to go find something or directs you to go find something somewhere, that's great. But you cannot make an educated decision on who you want to vote for unless you know who they are. Unless you know who they are. I like Sarah too. See, there's a lot of people in here. I'm so disappointed to hear this. Again, make sure you go find out how Walmart and Tyson and other big corporation woke companies are funding these people. Because if they're funding these people, that means that in some way, shape, or form, they own some certain decisions from these people. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. We're here to make sure that we reform this Republican Party, and by God's grace, we're going to do it. Donnie C says, y'all got to do research. Donnie's done it. He knows. He knows what I'm talking about here. Again, sometimes you get hit in the face with this stuff, and it sucks. It hurts. Follow the donors. You'll find out who the candidate is. That's all I've got to say. Let's move on.